Good, good, good. Merry Christmas. Alright, I'll show you how I normally do my aim routines. Oh, really? What happened, man? Did you not get the best presents ever? That sucks. Let's say I got to like 5 if you want to play some games too. Up to you though. I'm not gonna force it. Alright. So, what characters do you mostly want to practice on? Do you want to be practicing on more duelist type characters, or do you want more like controller type characters? Aww. Don't worry, I'll give you the best Christmas present ever. A dub. Within Valorant. Jet? Okay. Let's say Jet's like one of those ones. Okay, so let's say we're practicing knives, right? The best way to practice knives, oh god, this is laggy shit, is to practice by literally just doing this. This is the best way I've practiced knives, but I've also had to practice knives by playing weird like this. So basically the point when you're practicing knives is just not to really think about too much. The idea is that you want to try to get fixed while being in weird spots, like up in the top. You want to consistently kind of just move around, consistently move wacky. I don't practice knives often, but every now and then you kind of want to just do this to warm up your aim a little bit with knives. Now you can get more consistent with it. And another way I practice knives would be doing like 50 elims. But normally it's not that light. So I'll practice knives with 50 elims, try to hit head. But I'm always trying to like tap it instead of just holding it down like a crazy man. If you start holding it down, you have less control. It's better if you just tap. Then the fire rate will be reduced. Unless there's multiple targets in front of you. Practicing, what's it called? Rapid fire is also good for the practice range when you do the practice mode. You can practice firing at consistent rates. The idea with knives is that you want to always try to aim for head or aim for body. You also want good control of your knives and knowing how many knives you have. You have to keep getting mental about it. You can also kind of try to move around a little bit too to help yourself out a little bit. Most of the time I just kind of stand still because I'm used to moving a lot. Especially with knives. It's kind of what the practice range training is supposed to help with first. Yeah, you can do with strafing bots, not strafing bots. Majority of the time I would do strafing bots, but counting the elos you're in, I would definitely do it with non-strafing bots if I was like low gold elos or like plat elos. But like around plat to diamond, honestly, you need strafing bots, even higher elos. Like you can even try like floating around a little bit too. You can play up the high grounds like over here. There's high grounds up here. Like up here you can play up. Try to play like a weird angle. Because a lot of times you're going to be playing these spots that are really funky and weird. You can practice like doing this. So the idea is you want to get comfortable with flicking with knives, because the knives have a different FPS than what other guns have. So like there's no consistent fire rate, but there's a consistent FPS drop when you use knives. Like let's say a bullet is 5 FPS, right? Or like 2 FPS. Knives would probably be like 3 or 4 seconds behind it. So roughly 5 to 6 FPS instead. Causing knives to be a little bit slower than a bullet, but also more lethal than a bullet as well at the same time. To make up for how slow it is. But yeah, that's basically what I do. And then if I'm playing with what's it called? If I have Vandal, I would do 50. Same stuff. But this time I'm gonna try and put more strafing into it as well while I'm trying to shoot. Like most people, what they do tend to do is do this. So they're more focused about consistently hitting head. Honestly, if you want to hit head with strafing, you just consistently strafe like a little bit. So here's a little strafe. And just try to flick. And the idea is also get comfortable with trying to flick while moving. Because you want to do both and not little like do this and then this, you know what I mean? You want to do both at the same time. You don't have to flick fast, but you have to flick at a good consistent pace at least. It doesn't gotta be too fast, but it also can't be too slow, unless you're gonna be really caught lacking. This is just kind of like, I do this for like maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or even one round of 50. but I'm also keeping a visual mind of how big the bots are. Like, see how this bot is like this big, right? See how low ahead? I'm always keeping in mind of how big my players are going to be. Even around like corners or something, around an angle, I'm always going to try to keep in mind. Because the biggest thing about people that don't really pay attention, they're always looking at their screen, but never visualize the target. Like, you need to visualize that you're killing a target. It's not all about just looking at your screen. Just go, whoop, I'm going to click that head, boop. Oh, I'm going to click that head, boom. You know what I mean? Visualize your target and how you're going to kill them. While also paying attention to what's going on in your surroundings. That's a lot of times, like, that's how you get crosshair levels, is you just pay attention to, like, where your crosshair's at, but as well as, like, where your target's gonna swing. Like, if I know my target's gonna swing out here, I can put my crosshair back here. If I'm that confident, I can pick out to here, and then I can flick back over here if I need to for crosshair placement. Okay, so strafing properly, there's wide strafing, so you go like this, boom. Another way to do this to make sure you're strafing correctly is also put the shooting mirror on. See that blue? If you see blue, that means you're running gunning. If you don't see blue, then you're not running gunning. Strafing properly is like when you're strafing wide like this, you're mostly strafing around a corner and an angle, and you're trying to just throw them off for a minute like this. You're trying to throw them off. This is you trying to throw them off, right? If I'm truly wanting to strafe that well, I could just do this. And in practice strafing, you can always go in the practice range and just literally start strafing like this. Try to make it tight and then do a little bit wider. Don't worry about moving your crosshair, just keep it stiff. The idea is to learn the timing of when your first bullet accuracy comes in. So I can do shit like this. Okay, so if you're being inaccurate, that means you just need to slow down your shots. That's all it is. Like, you want to wait a second. Like, you don't have to shoot instantly. You can wait a second. Give yourself time after you strafe. It's like when you do it like this, right? And you start spraying. That's kind of where the problem comes. If you start doing it where the point you just spray kind of like 4 or 3 bullets after you're done strafing, or done moving, or even before you're strafing, because the reset comes on. Like, if I get one shot miss, boom, resets. So I don't have to be accurate with the first shot, but my second shot will be accurate all the time. The majority of the time, you want to just give yourself a second just to let the game kind of register that you're stopped moving. That's what I normally do. I normally wait till my target at least, like, let's say they're shooting at me, and they're going boop, 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 right? I normally kind of shape like left or right, and I just wait a few seconds, let them kind of run out their mag, and give myself time to get a headshot easily. It's one headshot that kills, so it doesn't matter. And if you want to really practice it that badly, you can always just do this, and you could do like counter shaping left, stop, shoot. You want to try to consistently move while also trying to aim at the target. Like they're actually shooting for you. Most of the time I would just load it into a deathmatch, counter shape there, and try to practice it from there. That's how I would do it. And then, if we're talking about flicks, right? Or like headshot levels, I would do medium bots with a sheriff. Not medium, sorry. Crisis. I cannot aim right now. I'll go on easy. I'm just gonna practice headshots. This is supposed to help train your brain to learn how to do headshots. So it's gonna help you fix crosshair placement, anything. That's basically what I do. I don't do easy mode every time. I do it every now and then, just kind of reset myself with my headshots. Sometimes you whiff, you know. Sometimes you don't get the head. But, you know, just want to practice your headshots. Always be trying to be consistent. It's kind of the goal and key factor. And when you feel more comfortable, you can also go into medium, which I tend to do medium most of the time. Because medium's just honestly way easier for me, and it's a lot slower than it used to be. As well as medium's like most of the time what players are at. So like medium, it's a little faster. But then same thing, just go for head. Calm down your aim. Take your time if you need to. You know, I'm like panic aiming right now because I'm hungry. I haven't aimed thing in a while, so yeah, it's basically the same thing. And basically you just go on medium with Vandal or Phantom. And you just practice always aiming down after a headshot. So like when we get a headshot, we aim downwards afterwards. Because one of the key things about... Huh. Yeah. Okay. Medium average 25. That's not bad. So, medium normally 120, but if you're not, like, being accurate about your shots, right, and you really need to start being more accurate, just aim downwards. Like, because majority of the time, when I watched you as well, your recoil was always off. Like, to here, right, if I'm missing my shot, especially in the pot, this, right, I'm gonna miss my shot, I'm going down here, I can just spray at that point. Just aim downwards. If you're, like, you're at head level, you can just aim downwards from there. And regardless, you'll still hit body at least and do some damage. You don't always have to hit head. You're not going to always guarantee head. This is not going to always guarantee head. You can predict someone's movement, or even just predict like where they're going to be, but are you going to always hit head? No. You're going to always at least hit somewhere near your head. Like, you can hit towards here, just let the recoil do the work. Like, if you know you're hitting the body multiple times, and start letting the recoil do the work, or switch to Phantom, and let the recoil just do the work. This is kind of the point a lot of people don't understand, is you just need to let the recoil do the work. You don't always have to be the person going, woo, like type shit. You can just let the recoil do the work. If you're that close to the head, you can hit it with a recoil. You can hit a recoil from here as well. You know, just let it do the work. Because majority of the time, the way you want to aim is you want to aim like this, kind of like where you're just pointing it more downwards as the spray goes up. So you can shoot 4 bullets, or even shooting 2. You just always try to aim a little downwards, so that way it's more tightly depressed. Otherwise, it will fuck you over. And then when it comes to like clearing corners, angles, or anything above that, I play this hard. I know about my abilities. I still use knife too. This is a good way to practice headshots and knowing like headshot levels. Like, see how I'm peeking them out too, and I'm trying to get clean headshots without getting wall bangs as well. Like, majority of the time, players will swing you in sorts. But if you can just visualize how a target will react, especially when they just see your barrel, because majority of the time these bots are actual players. Like, here, I'll show you. Like, to here, you see how I see his barrel and his shoulder? He's not gonna more than likely see me from here. So you can even shoot like this and honestly kill players like that and know that he's gonna swing, you're just gonna instantly flick up and just start spraying. Or you can even spray the wall just to kind of play their swing. Just make sure you're always tapping strafing whenever you're going around corners. You're not holding shift. Okay, so your crosshair is head level, right? Okay. You're saying it's way too far and it's too off, and then when you strafe, it just goes. That's mostly because you need to practice, what's it called? Like, let's say it's far to the right, right? I just don't move my crosshair. Like, I could just do this. Or better yet, I just aim downwards, right? And I start aiming more for body instead. If it's too far off. But the biggest idea is you want to get comfortable, like... Because, okay, here's the thing. There's 2 different types of aim, right? There's controller aim, where basically you're aiming with just this. This is how you aim. Right? You just do this, and then when you want to aim, you just do this. This is controller aim. Because your analog stick, and I have a controller right here actually, because you're moving with your inputs, and normally the players don't like using their analog stick while they're moving, so they tend to stand still and then just do this. This is how controllers are aim. It's how most controller players aim. God truth. I have played a lot of controller in my life. But 9 out of 10 times, when you're playing a PC, you have full control. You have your mouse, you have your keyboard, right? If I'm aiming, I'm going to aim with my mouse and keyboard at the same time. They're both different inputs. If I can get comfortable with that, I won't overflick majority of the time. Even if I overflick like all the way over here, I just stand still for a second and then flick back over here. I can even just go move to my crosshair, giving him a little time, but give me enough time just to do that. Or I just stop moving. Or yeah, I just crouch. Like, there's multiple ways to play it out. You can crouch and just spray and hope to God you get it. You don't have to always hit head. Head's like the consistent rate of what you want to do. But you can also just move into the headshot. Kind of just like this. Or you can just crouch and just honestly move your crosshair while with it. It's just you're not comfortable with aiming with, what's it called? With your movement. Once you get more comfortable with it, because I used to be like that too. I didn't like moving, then move my hand. Once you get more comfortable with it, you'll start aiming more consistent. That's like one of the bigger things that happen. I've seen a lot of players with that trouble, and I've had that problem as well. Like, you know, like in practice, you can also just do this as well, just to kind of help you with moving your crosshair. Because under-flicking is honestly better than over-flicking. Like, I'm not gonna flick, I'm always gonna flick more to the left so I can re-flick back to the right, knowing that I have that much room to make errors. But again, you always gotta hit head. The main objective is either hit head or at least the body to head. Like, you always want to be neck level. That's kind of one of the strong things I always said. Neck level is best level. Because some players are movement players, so they'll tend to do movement like this, where they basically penetrate really hard, right? And then you have players that are not movement players who just stand still and they do shit like that. Getting comfortable with movement, I would just do a deathmatch. Here. No, I just consistently keep moving. Like, I'll show you, but I would go into a deathmatch and just consistently keep moving. Because deathmatch is one of the matches where basically you're consistently have to be on the move, and there's gonna be a lot of players. So I'm gonna turn my audio down, right? I'm gonna turn it down like up to here. I can still hear something, but I don't hear too much. So that way it's all game sense as well, and you have to actually pay attention. But you want to consistently keep moving.
Match found.
Or hell, actually, going Phantom... No, because Vandal punishes you more. I was gonna say, is if you really want to get really good with movement, and we're talking like movement, and you want to play movement style, then I would go Phantom, and just play Phantom only. And not go Vandal as much. But, realistically, you're gonna have to eventually pick up a Vandal if you don't have a Phantom. So you have to learn to master both. It's not just one or the other. It's not as simple. Open my window up again while we hide here. Like, I'm consistently moving and I'm wide-swinging everything I can. I'm also trying to, like, scout my area. Because I know, like, for instance, I'm gonna know someone's gonna peek out here eventually, right? So I have to be paranoid about everything. Because I can't hear as well. So you have to be paranoid as fucking Crisis. This is kind of like a real match would go. Because if you're lost in the sauce, you're gonna be paranoid. You're gonna look everywhere. So while you're moving, you just have to move your hand as well. And then when I see a target, I just stop, take a minute to shoot, and boom. You know what I mean? So I mean, but like Immortals have really slow aim too. It's because they don't take time to really think about like how they're gonna kill the target. They're just gonna go, oh man, yeah. You always say it's aim, but you just gotta think about how you're gonna kill them. It's not as simple as just aim. Like right there, I just literally hit body shots. I'm not always going for head. And it's taking way too much time.